In a country as vast and complex as ours, road traffic accidents are an unfortunate reality. While visible injuries often find their way into legal recognition, neurological and functional neurological disabilities frequently remain unseen, unheard, and inadequately addressed. These injuries do not always announce themselves through paralysis or scars. Sometimes they appear quietly. A mother who can no longer remember the steps to cook a simple meal or earn a living for her children. A father who can no longer judge distance and drive, focus on the road, or trust his own reflexes. An accountant who now struggles to remember sequences, make calculations, or sustain attention long enough to work. Lives are not just injured, identities, roles, and livelihoods slowly unravel. Yet, in accident and compensation jurisprudence, these invisible losses often fall through the gap between medical reality and legal interpretation. Honorable Justice A.V. Chandrashekar, former judge of High Court of Karnataka, was among the first within the judicial system to recognize this critical lacuna. When Dr. Sharan Srinivasan and Dr. Prathiba Sharan began presenting neurological evidence in court to explain the real-world impact of brain and nervous system injuries, it was him who listened, who understood, and who enabled this conversation to extend beyond individual cases. That shared conviction led to a first decisive step: structured teaching and engagement at the Karnataka Judicial Academy, bringing judges and legal professionals closer to the medical realities of neurological and functional disability. Since then, Honorable Justice A.V. Chandrashekar has remained a steady guiding light, firmly believing that functional disability can only be addressed through sustained awareness and education of judges, lawyers, and the public. This podcast aims to address the systemic challenges in securing just compensation for victims of head injuries due to road traffic accidents in India. It brings together a unique panel, a judge, a neurosurgeon, and a neuropsychologist, to deliberate on medico-legal complexities, disability assessment, and the gaps between legal mandates and neurological realities. This conversation is not only about law or just about medicine. It is about restoring dignity to everyday lives altered by invisible injuries, and about ensuring that justice sees what the eye cannot. This is Rebooting the Brain, and this is the beginning of the Neuro Justice movement.
ജ്ഞാനാനന്ദമയം ദേവം നിർമ്മലസ്ഫടികാകൃതിം ആധാരം സർവവിദ്യാനാം ഹയഗ്രീവം ഉപാസ്മഹേ ആധാരം സർവവിദ്യാനാം ഹയഗ്രീവ ഉപാസ്മഹേ ഹയഗ്രീവ ഉപാസ്മഹേ.
Rebooting the Brain, powered by PRS Neurosciences. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Rebooting the Brain. I am Dr. Sharan Srinivasan, a stereotactic and functional neurosurgeon from Bengaluru, India. Before I start the podcast, we'll start with a customary mantra. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om
Shanti
Shanti Shanti.
Shanti.
This mantra has been a great inspiration for me right from my childhood. As the mantra says, from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light, and from death to immortality. You can use this in any aspect of your life and get fantastic wisdom and peace of mind. And that's what the world needs today. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is a very interesting, important, and unique episode from a lot of different ways. Number one, it is the episode celebrating the first year of successful completion of Rebooting the Brain podcast.
Yes.
All of you have been such wonderful audience. Your kind of comments that you made, the sharing that you made has made our life worth it.
Very
Okay,
true.
so thank you very much
Thank
for
you
each
so
of
much
you,
for all your
all that you have
appreciation.
done, and please continue to support us in larger numbers so that we can take this message to the larger, wider global audience. Today is special for one more reason. We have a very good mentor and a guide for us, retired Justice of the Karnataka High Court, Justice A.V. Chandrashekar. Sir,
Welcome, sir.
welcome to our
Namaste.
podcast.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharan and Dr. Prathiba.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So today is the third important thing. We are going to talk about a very burning problem. All of you know, you've seen our episodes on head injuries, you've seen episodes on stroke, you've seen episodes of so many things. But those patients who don't become normal and remain disabled, they need to go to many times to the court to get every compensation on as per the motor vehicle accident and the insurance. There's a lot of gaps in the system, a lot of struggles happening, a lot of gray areas, and a lot of unclarity in this whole process. And we, thanks to the push and the guidance from Justice Chandrasekhar sir, we have decided to write a book co-authored by all three of us on this very topic.
Yes.
So this chat is the first step towards that book launch, which is going to happen at the same time.
So we probably will have some glimpses of what the book is going to cover
Yes,
as topics.
absolutely. So, as per the NIMHANS statistics, study of 2010, sir, 40 lakh Indians are becoming disabled every year because of 3 brain conditions.
40 lakhs
40 lakhs, sir. This is
per year.
Per year.
Yes,
This is
sir.
2010 data,
Oh,
which is head injury, stroke, and dementia, sir.
Mm.
acha.
Only 3 brain conditions, not anything else. You leave Parkinson's and brain tumor and brain infection,
Okay.
spinal cord, all those things. All bitbidi, sir. Only these 3. And the current statistics says as of 2023, 17 Indians are dying every hour
Every hour,
On
17 Indians.
Mm.
on the road
roads.
because of road traffic accidents, sir. 70 Indians per hour. Normal, healthy, productive human
Mm.
beings. So you know what is interesting in this? It does not include the people who didn't die on the road and died in hospital.
Yeah. Or
That
died
data
after
ಯಾರಿಗೂ
some
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ sir
time.
ಅದು.
Oh,
See, patient may go to hospital and die,
correct.
or 1 week later, 1 month later,
Exactly.
because direct has an impact of this accident.
Correct.
That data nobody has. So if you add that cumulative data, think
It
about
is
the
much
numbers, sir.
more.
I think it will be startling, sir.
will
Yeah,
start.
I
yeah.
think it will be
Much,
more
much
more.
twice or thrice of.
At least, Allah, sir.
Oh, yeah,
But
But
definitely, sir.
ignorance is bliss. Because I don't know the knowledge, I don't worry about it. We are more worried about what happened, the wars, what happened everywhere else, but we are not addressing this war inside. We need to have a war against this road traffic accidents and the disabilities, sir. Literally, we have to fight that war.
Honestly speaking, we just saw the Sindoor operations. Road traffic accidents, majority of the people are men, and men in the working period, like maybe around 30 years to 50 years of age group. This is the prime time where they are married and they have children probably, and you're wiping off the sindoor of that lady. It is like another operation sindoor, honestly speaking,
Oh, right.
on the roads.
You're right. You're right.
Alva.
You're right.
Self-inflicted, sir. Self-inflicted. Now, more than anybody else doing it,
Yeah.
nowadays from outside is coming and doing it in either way. So, apart from this, sir, if you take the 2010 data coming back to that, 15 to 17 lakh Indians who survive of these 3 conditions are becoming neurologically disabled, sir.
True.
And they cannot get back to their original life because they are disabled brain-wise, sir. 17 lakh per year, and sir, it translates to 200 per minute. So these are serious numbers. And this,
Very
I'm
serious
telling you,
numbers.
200 per minute is 210, 2010 data, sir.
So, what is the source of data?
This is from
Shraddha?
NIMHANS, sir. It's
NIMHANS.
a
Yes,
TBI
yes.
and
Oh, it's such an authentic
Yes,
institution,
absolutely,
such
sir.
a premier institution,
Yes.
which we are very proud of.
Absolutely, sir.
And
No question.
there cannot be any two opinion about the sanctity of
Absolutely.
the data
How
that the
No,
NIMHANS
not at all,
provides.
sir.
Correct.
The only sanctity may
Nice.
be if people have not reported. See,
Huh.
say somewhere our budget con patient but it has not been reported. Those may be some data that we have missed. Otherwise, all collated.
NIMHANS can't
No,
be
but
found faulty.
published
Correct.
data
Exactly.
is true
Exactly.
data.
And then what I'm saying is it could be higher than what NIMHANS said is what I'm saying. It
Correct.
won't be lower than that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to make you understand because the vastness of this and the remote alle manak puttu namak gottagala, sir. They will not know what is going on. Because postmortem may not be done. We don't know what all is going on unless it comes to the system. So with these kind of numbers, and the numbers are only higher in 2025, and whatever Modi ji, our Prime Minister, keeps talking about Viksit Bharat 2047 and India as a demographic dividend and all of those things, if these demographic dividend, the youngest country in the world, all of them instead of producing, becoming productive citizens are lying in the bed or in the graveyard, what is the point, sir?
It's
So
a
this is
huge
an
damage
urgent
indirectly
problem.
created.
This is an urgent problem. So before we go into that, sir, I want your opening comments on what I have said so far on this topic.
Sir, before giving my opening comments, even if we calculate the number which you have just given us, 40 lakhs into 15 years, it would be 6 crores.
Very true.
So, for the past 15 years, 6 crores of people are added to this disability list. And
nobody worried about them, sir.
And 600, so 6 crore families.
Families,
well said, sir. Well
and
said.
these people are not dying. They are alive. ಅಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಡಿಸೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲೈವ್
ಇದು ಬದಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸಾಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಬಿಸಿ ತುಪ್ಪ ತರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಿ patient is stuck, the family is stuck around the patient, sir. So it's an urgent problem that we have to address, sir.
Sir, Dr. Sharan, before giving my opening comments, it's a wonderful poster, I just saw it. Neuro Justice, where medicine, law and humanity intersect. May I know the background of this wonderful poster, Prathiba and Dr. Srinivasan?
I will definitely tell you, sir. So as you know that you come from the hardcore judiciary, being a retired justice of the Karnataka High Court. I am a neurosurgeon in practice who has probably gone to the court now more than 2,500 times to give evidence as an expert witness in motor vehicle accident cases as a social obligation from my side so that the patients can get just compensations. And she has probably prepared more than 1,500, 2,000 neuropsychological assessments to help people like us and other neurosurgeons and petitioner lawyers in the country to be able to assess the hidden software disability of the brain called the cognitive disability so that again it can empower the court to make a just compensations.
Which is not really physically seen.
So,
ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
Can't be seen.
Can't be seen at all.
And then as you just make a mention about the social impact of what is happening to the family. So we felt that we need to write a book, and that's you have pushed us and I've given the theme of this book is Neuro Justice. Justice for neurologically disabled patients, and not just from the justice department.
Yes.
It's all of us together.
Everybody together.
And also the humanity at large, we have to come together to reduce this scourge called road traffic accidents and the disability therein that happens.
This is an eloquent combination.
Exactly.
Eloquent combination.
ಇದು ನಾವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, just not judiciary and medical people involved. Awareness in public ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ they will also be more responsible.
Agreed.
What all is available in ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ಈವನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬೈ ದೇರ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರು ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಡೀಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ನೋ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ದೆಮ್ ದಟ್ benefit of education and with the book.
And the book will probably first come out in English, sir, and then once we see the impact of that, we'll obviously make it in Kannada and probably other languages, sir.
Nice that you want me to give my opening comments. See, whatever comment that I can give is based upon my experience as a judge.
Yes.
I was a district judge for 17.5 years, and I was a high court judge also. So I had an opportunity to deal with large number of cases. I have recorded evidence in motor accident claims cases. both with regard to the orthopedic disability as well as the neurological disability. Fortunately, I used to consult best to the neurosurgeons whenever I used to encounter a case, because so far as orthopedic disability is concerned, Supreme Court has laid down some good lines in the form of decisions. In the case of Rajkumar versus Jaykumar, as a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court authored by Justice R.V. Ravindran in 2008. Now it is very handy for our judges to deal with the orthopedic disability. So far as with my little knowledge, so far as the neurological disabilities are concerned, there are no benchmarks as such. I think even there are no good guidelines from effective institutions. Therefore, judges grapple a lot to find appropriate decision and to give compensation. You know, the aim of the establishment of motor accident claims tribunal is to award just compensation. What is just is dependent upon the facts of the case. Nobody should be denied of the reasonable and just compensation. This is the mandate of the Constitution also, you know.
Very true.
Correct.
Very
Whoever
true.
is injured, we have, there are a lot of grey areas. See, you will be giving evidence on medical matters with which we are not very much conversant, you know. So there is an obligation for us as judges also to know from them what does a particular say expression mean.
Correct.
If you don't take opinions or clarifications while writing judgments or orders, it would be very difficult.
Well said.
And Section 165 of the Evidence Act, now which is called as Bharatiya Saksha Adhinayam, there is no much change in Saksha Adhinayam. Fortunately, they have kept it as it is with a new nomenclature. Section 165 of the Evidence Act states that a judge can put any question to any witness at any point of time. Earlier, there used to be pertinent or impertinent. Now that impertinent is removed. Pertinent questions to any witness at any point of time. The purpose of Section 165, normally judges don't put questions, but they can where circumstances demand.
Correct.
So the main purpose is to know the different facets of the same and to use the same while assessing the evidence. Doctors play a very important role. Doctors are called experts in terms of Section 45 of the Evidence Act. Their evidence has a great bearing on the evidence. There is a judgment of the Supreme Court. I will also just cite a judgment by late Justice C.S. Venkatramaya, who was the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. In the case of Mayur P. Shah versus State of Gujarat, the evidence of there is no the evidence of a doctor has to be assessed as that of any other evidence. There is no presumption to the effect that the evidence of a doctor is a gospel of truth. But still, there is one caveat. While jettisoning or rejecting the evidence of a doctor, the court is expected to give valid reasons. That is how the doctor's evidence is
very nicely. So that balance is kept to make sure that
given credence to.
Got it.
Normally, say whenever a doctor, normally the court presumes that the evidence of a doctor is always true unless during the course of cross-examination something is elicited to say the credibility is little down.
Correct.
So doctors play a very important role, especially in neurosurgeons.
Very well said.
When there are no specific guidelines either by the ministry or by NIMHANS, it is high time that NIMHANS, our prestigious institution, will take up this issue with the government and do something.
I hope so.
For the courts also.
It is the authority, sir, as of now, but unofficially.
Oh, okay.
It is the authority.
As far as my knowledge goes, the Honorable Supreme Court of India had an occasion in 1994. It's a judgment of the Supreme Court reported in AIR also, All India Report. It was a case of an advocate practicing in Supreme Court. He met with an accident, a road accident involving a vehicle somewhere in Uttara Kannada. Some compensation was awarded and he challenged in the High Court on the ground of inadequacy, and the matter went to the Supreme Court. I think a bench consisting of former Chief Justice of India A.M. Hamadi, late A.M. Hamadi, they enhanced the compensation under 2 or 3 heads. I think that may be the first case so far as
Closest.
neurological
Okay.
disability is concerned. But I still think, and see, judges also find difficult especially in the motor accident claims tribunals dealing with cases. They find it difficult because there are no guidelines.
Correct.
As a result of the same, most of the cases are not given priority. I don't find any. I don't blame anybody.
True.
There are valid reasons also,
Very
Correct.
but I think that lot of priority needs to be given.
I agree with you, sir.
And one thing is, in majority of the accidents involving vehicles, it is the people belonging to middle class and below middle class
Absolutely.
are the
Absolutely.
victims.
So, not you leave about the vehicles, sir. Majority of them are vehicles hitting pedestrians, crossing the road.
Crossing the road.
So they are even poorer people, sir.
Poor.
Because especially in rural areas, highways alla ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Highways are not fenced off. People are crossing ಎಮ್ಮೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಸರ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವೇರ್ ವೆರಿ ಫೇಟಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ನು ಏನೋ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್, ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Recently, one senior politician of our own state, sir, he on the highway is parked his vehicle to the side, got down, who was talking on the phone and going to do susu. Somebody on the service road has come and hit him, sir. So, like COVID, sir, RTA is also very democratic, sir. Anybody can get injured. You are as susceptible as me to that poor person. All of us, like how the former Tata chairman who was sitting in the back seat of a BMW died, sir.
True.
Right.
ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ Mistri. And that's when the government of Maharashtra made a rule that the back seat also has to wear the seat belts. Other back seat belt was not mandatory. Unfortunately, bari Maharashtra agide sir. Karnataka inna back compulsory illa sir.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting thing, except when you go to the ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗೋದಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ಊಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಬೆಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್, ಪರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಡ್ರೈವರ್.
ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ವರ್ಕ್ಮನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್, ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್, ಪಾಪ ಅವರು ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಇನ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಹಜಾರ್ಡಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಫಾಲ್, ದೇ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಥೋಪೆಡಿಕ್ ಇಂಜುರೀಸ್, ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಫರ್ neurological disabilities. Now in Karnataka, motor accident tribunals themselves have been given that opportunity.
I didn't know this. I see.
Fall from height and all is very...
No, I know.
Now they are dealing with this also. Therefore, and fortunately, one thing that both of you, Dr. Sharan and Prathiba, you are a regular resource persons, very sought after resource persons of the Judicial Academy. We are really, in fact, I was also a director of the Karnataka Judicial Academy. So I'm very happy that you have been very actively involved in, say, educating, giving judicial education to our judges and empowering them to do justice.
True.
Ultimately, the victim should get justice.
That is the goal of this whole exercise.
Neuro justice. So the persons who are afflicted with neurological disabilities should get justice. Otherwise, it will be a violation of Article 14 of the Constitution of India.
Agree. So, Dr. Prathiba, you have any opening comments to make before we dive head on into this topic of what's going on?
Sir, you know that I come from a judicial background. My father being in judiciary, right? Right now he's retired, I know. But then those days, he used to always come and tell stories about case yenaito, interesting cases he used to always tell. But, impact, I couldn't, only those exciting cases I remember. But motor vehicle, adala, it wasn't that real for me. I didn't understand the impact. But when I started going to court and when I started writing the, affidavits ಮಾಡೋದು, court commissioner ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, then I realized what he used to say makes so much of meaning. He used to say, so ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ medical books he had to take and refer because he couldn't understand what the expert evidence was telling. So he said, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡ್ಕೋದು, ಏನು, he was telling all that. I really didn't understand that to that level. But ivaga I understand.
Your father, Shri C.K. Balakrishna, when he was district judge, all cases of motor accident used to come before district judges.
Yes.
Now senior civil judges, judges one rung below the district judges, now are dealing. Earlier they used to decide all those cases. Fortunately, I know your father very well because when I joined the judiciary, he was very much there, and 4 years after my entry, They're all exterior judges.
That's true. Sir.
So,
So-
other thing what I want to tell is, actually, before I started seeing all this, he used to always, pause, wait while crossing the road. You remember? And I used to wonder, why is he waiting so much? ಅಷ್ಟು ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? I mean, ಅಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ ಓಡೋಗ್ಬೋದು
Cross
ಅಂತ.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ
Cross
ಇಷ್ಟು?
ಮಾಡು, what is the big deal ಅಂತ. But after I started, assessing all these patients history-wise, hit and run, no, walking while crossing the road, hit and
Correct.
whatever injury happened. ಈ ಥರದ್ದೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. After that, I'm a little petrified. Now I understand why he actually.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಐ ಆಮ್
slows
ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಲೋ
down.
ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ರೋಡ್. ನಾನು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಐ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ 17 lakh fellows. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಏನೋ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಫೋನ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಗಮನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ರಿಸ್ಕಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. So now you understand. So one day I had gone to the court and had given this cognitive disability, sir, in the court. Doctor, patient ನೋಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ ಅಂತ. That the lawyer made a comment, the insurance lawyer made a comment in the box, which means he said in English, that patient looks okay, but you're not saying he or saying he's not okay. I don't accept that, is what he says. So I suddenly realized that the general public don't understand the software problems of the brains.
Very true.
I just suddenly realized that. ಆ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಾಗ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ.
Correct.
So immediately I tell the honorable judge, sir, if you don't mind, I'll give a narration ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು I said, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ನಿಂತಿದ್ದ ಗಾಡಿ ಮೈಲೇಜ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ.
Correct.
You can't tell the mileage of a parked car. The car may look beautiful from outside, it may not even have an engine inside.
True.
Correct.
Or until you start, you don't know whether the car will start, whether it will move, what is going to happen. So appearances can be deceptive.
Very deceptive.
Very deceptive. So that is when they realized that what I was saying is true.
Yeah.
So this was a struggle I constantly had in the court, because I think I was one of the earliest neurosurgeons who was going regularly to the court as a social obligation, not as a forcer. I made a commitment to go because I realized
Very nice.
if I don't go to court, they will not get that extra money. And one of my earlier cases when I got into the box, I also learned so much from appearing in the court, in the box, from everybody, in the system. One very smart insurance lawyer, sir, BNS ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು, ಅವರು ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ he came, I was in the box, ಇದು ಓದ್ತೊಂಡೆ. He said, ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ, I am not debating the RTI ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. I said, okay. ರೋಡ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ನಾನು ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಗಿದೆ. It has happened. Okay. I am not debating the disability ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು.
Disability assessed by you.
I'm not debating. No, disability ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸುಳ್ಳು, ಸತ್ಯ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಕಮ್ಮಿ. I'm not saying anything that you have said about disability.
Okay.
I said, where is this guy taking it? Then Mansali, there's some agenda he has got a plan. I was one of the earlier. Okay. I am debating that this disability is because of this accident. How do you prove it? I said, why? See, doctor, this accident happened 2 years ago. Last 1.5 years, he's never gone to doctor. How do you say this? He could have had any problem in between. No, yes. I said, of course. He could have had a stroke. I said, yes. So he says, rest his argument, but he got me out of the box in 5 minutes, sir.
Good. Nice also.
Unbelievable. It hit me like a truck.
True.
I said, this man is right. So from that day, sir, without follow-up records, I don't go to court, sir. So for the audience, I want to say, guys, you get 2 kinds of money from the court on this motor vehicle accident cases. One is the money you spent on hospitalization. That there's a formula there. With some exceptions, that money will be given to you based on production of the bills. Second one is the additional money that's called money because of disability, because of which you may not be able to perform like a normal human being as you were before the accident. So this disability-based compensation depends on so many factors, and it's not a common set of factors. It varies from person to person. For the second thing, experts like us have to come to the court to give an honest evidence so that we can empower the court to make some informed decision as fair as possible at the end of the days. Some problem ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಸರ್? ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಲಿವರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ನೋ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. In the world ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ you do a blood test for yourself.
Correct.
You get a report. Report has 2 numbers. It has your number and a number next to it, which is a normal range. Both these numbers are not available for neuroscience. Imagine trying to manage diabetes without checking blood sugar, sir. Imagine trying to manage BP without checking BP, sir. ನೀವು ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ.
I can't look at your face and say
Correct,
your
correct.
BP is high, sugar is low, so on and so. This is how primitive and how challenging at the same time neuroscience is, and that's why the court struggling. You are saying we are struggling to tell the court,
Okay.
giving it in an objective way, as fair and as honest as possible, because it varies from person to person.
The only brain function test possibly is the neuropsychological test, which is handling the software part of it. But for the rest of the body, it is not
Is it
there.
a sure test?
Of course, sir. It is a Niemann's battery. I follow the Niemann's battery
Okay.
because I trained in Niemann's.
Oh.
So it is a published
Dependable
battery.
test.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a highly dependable
Yes,
test.
As of
which,
now, yes.
which you can depend.
Yes.
Okay.
As of now, it's a gold standard, sir.
Okay.
So what I was trying to bring in front of you, sir, is that when I realized the software issues in the brain, I realized that the court was struggling, I was struggling, and there was a lot of argument like that, sir, from in the box. So I thought maybe it's my duty to educate rather than fight.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. So because I realized that it's my responsibility to give some knowledge to the court and the judge. So with persistence of the petitioners and insurance lawyers, I reached out to the registrar of our court here, and Judge Guraj Shirol was there at the time. He was the registrar.
he was the registrar of
Registrar.
small
Yes,
causes court.
Small
Yes.
causes court.
Correct,
So
correct.
somebody
I
put
know
me
him.
on to him. I spoke to him. He was very happy. And then Avaga
Principal judge ಅಂತ, chief judge small causes court ಅಂತ
correct.
ಇರ್ತಾ
And the
ಇತ್ತು.
chief judge at that time was Justice Indra Kala madam.
Indra Kala.
Okay, okay.
She was in court hall number 1. Then he put me on to her and we spoke and she said, okay, court hall alla madidhi sir. We gave a talk
Okay,
to the
very
judges
nice.
on the evening after the court finished.
Yeah, after court
in the
over,
chief
now
judge's
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
court ಅಲ್ಲಿ about 30-40 judges are standing as
So,
sitting.
It was a part of continuous legal education.
Yes, yes.
on
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
neurological
Exactly.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
disability.
start ಆಗಿದೆ, maybe 2007, 8, 9, somewhere
Okay,
there it
okay.
started, sir.
Okay.
So I remember very clearly, I started my talk by pulling out my pen.
Oh.
And I asked all the judges, what is this? ಅಂತ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಅವಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಡೆ ಸರ್ ನಾನು. And everybody looked at me, looked at each other, they said pen. Then I asked the next question, is your eyes telling it's a pen or brain telling it's a pen? They got fixed.
Fixed.
50%, they got fixed. Because it's an interesting question, sir. 50% said eyes, 50% said brain. And then I told those who told brain, you are not intelligent because neurosurgeons asked the question, you're giving a smart answer. ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಸರ್. ಜೈ ಬಜರಂಗ್ ಬಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಸರ್. Then I told one of the judges who said eyes, imagine you're sleeping now.
Okay.
I open the eyelid and show the pen. Do you see the pen? He said, no. Are you blind? He said, no.
No.
I said, why don't you see the pen? Because eye is on, brain is off. Then I
Eye
asked
is on, brain is
Brain is
off.
brain is off. Correct, sir. Brain is off.
Correct.
Then I asked the next question. Is your tongue telling you vanilla ice cream or brain telling you vanilla ice cream? ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ಕಣ್ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾವು, ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಿವಿ ಕೇಳಿಸೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್? ವಿ ಸೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಐಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಸೇ. Then I asked the next question. Is your ear telling another song or brain telling another song? And then I told them, you put your kidney to me, same so. My kidney to you, same so. Your heart to me, same dub. My heart to you, same dub. The same vanilla flavored activity from the day we are born to the day we die. I am not degrading any of the organ. But your brain to me can't do neurosurgery. My brain to you can't give judgments. Because the hardware is the same, the software is different. So that was the most powerful introduction I've had ever. And I continue to do this in every talk.
Okay, good.
And the bulb came on, sir.
Ah.
Nobody understood that this is the only organ in the body which has an individual software which no other organ has. And if you try to translate orthopedic disability to neurological disability, ಹೇಗಾಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಅದು? ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Which is what is happening right now.
What do you think, sir? What do you think of what I said?
Very, very difficult.
Very, very difficult.
Very difficult.
So you understand, you are struggling, we are struggling with the same reason. ನಮ್ದು ಸೇಮ್. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಾಣಿಸೋದು, ಕೈ ಸೊಟ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಲು ಸೊಟ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಮುಖ ಸೊಟ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್, ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫೋನ್ ಬೂಟ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆ್ಯಪ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, SMS ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ವಿಚ್ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್.
Correct.
ಬಟ್ ಫೋನ್ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುರಿದೋಗಿದೆ, ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
ನೋಡಿ, ವೆನ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್, ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಆಸ್ಪಿಷಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್, ಲೋಕ್ ಅದಾಲತ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಹೌದು ಎವ್ರಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ನೌ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. 30-35 cases would be listed. One of the judges, sitting judges, would be requested. So from 5:30, to 6:30, even
Okay.
7:30 ತನಕ
ಇದು ಹೈ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೈ
ಸರ್ ಇದು?
ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Mm.
Sometimes there used to be some orthopedic surgeons.
Mm.
On my suggestion, invariably there used to be some neurosurgeon.
Mm.
So that would help to
Correct.
understand the
Correct.
dimensions of the
True.
neurological
Correct.
disability and take a decision there itself, and also convince the insurance company people, because ultimately
Correct.
they have to be satisfied before giving consent for that award,
Mm.
consent award.
Correct.
Very
And
interesting.
one difficulty, doctor, is in majority of the cases, in majority of places, there are no neurosurgeons.
Mm.
We find neurosurgeons only in district headquarters and
Oh.
some big towns and cities.
Correct.
Otherwise, in taluk headquarters, neurosurgeons will not be
Correct,
available.
correct.
People also find difficult the
Correct,
moment they sustain a head
ಹೌದು.
injury or a injury for the
ಇವಾಗ ಬೆಟರ್
spinal
ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್
cord.
ಇವಾಗ. It is
ಹೌದಾ?
better now.
ಇವಾಗ
The last 10-15 years, it's when I started my practice, I'm in my 25th year of practice now.
Good.
Very few districts had neurosurgeons, sir.
Okay.
Majority of North Karnataka,
Mm.
lot of interior Karnataka did not have, sir.
Oh,
Ivaga literally every district and probably sub-district has got.
okay.
It is, I can't say taluk, in the sense ivaga Gulbarga ಇದೆ, Bijapur ಇದೆ, as an example.
Okay.
Close by. ಆ ಥರ ಇದೆ. 5, 6, 7 ಇದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
Andre, it's all due to the policies of the government.
Government and
Yeah.
and I
And more
think
number of neurosurgeons
as a
are
training,
coming up.
because more
Train-
institutions are
yeah.
training and all of those things, so
Good.
it is helping us to get more, but still grossly inadequate, sir.
Grossly inadequate.
A country like USA, which has 1/5 India's population, has nearly
True.
10,000 neurosurgeons.
Ah,
And India, with that 5 times India's US population, we are about 2,500, 3,000 neurosurgeons right now, sir. All
Oh.
India, sir. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಇರೋದು.
grossly inadequate.
Grossly inadequate.
Grossly
And
inadequate.
we are the highest number of accidents in the world.
Okay.
India is the accident capital of the world. So ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಜನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ಕಮ್ಮಿ, it doesn't work
Yeah.
for us at the end of the day. So coming to you, you have seen a lot of patient caregivers coming, referred by, including people like me and other neurosurgeons for assessing of disability.
Correct.
So what has been your experience when they, can you tell us how that works so that sir also knows about it?
Yeah. So basically, what neurosurgeons give is whatever other disabilities are, the bodily disabilities, whole body disability ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನನಗೆ ರೆಫರ್ ಆಗೋದು ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂರೋಸೈಕಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ಐ ಫಾಲೋ ದ ನ್ಯೂರೋಸೈಕಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ನಿಮ್ಹ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್. 2004 ಇಸ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ. ಅದನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಐ ಡೂ ದ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. A patient, first of all, my instruction is patient has to come with a caregiver who has complete information about the patient. So it could be the wife, it could be the mother, it could be some brother or somebody of the patient family who knows complete detail. ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಮುಂದೆನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನೇನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮೈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡಕ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆ ಕನ್ನಡಕ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ದಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಓವರ್ ಮೈ years of practice. I have understood these small
You
things.
get false negative results.
False negative banbitre, then I am not doing a favor to the court. It will
You
be
have to
a
rule
disfavor.
out certain things alla,
Haudu.
while assessing the cognitive
Haudu.
functions.
Correct.
Haudu. So whether he can see properly, whether he can understand what I am saying, whether he can follow language. So sometimes ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಚೋಸನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಪ್ರಿಫರ್ಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅನದರ್ ಇದು ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಲಿಂಗರಿಂಗ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೂರ್ ಯು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್.
No,
ಮೆಲಿಂಗರಿಂಗ್
I'm
ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದೋ there is a problem.
ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್,
ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀವು
ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ
ಡ್ರಾಮಾ
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ
ಮಾಡಿ
ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ನಾವು, ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
Okay.
ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ
Alla, I can't deny your experience. You know? You
Yeah,
have seen
so
lot
they'll
of
come,
people.
And we
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ
have to pick it up,
ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ
sir.
they will not do it in the beginning. ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಇದು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಲಿಂಗರಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 3 hours, ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು 5 to 8 hours.
Oh.
one patient,
ಒಂದು
ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ.
ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗೆ.
such a lengthy
ಹಾ,
procedure.
ಲೆಂತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
ಮಾಡೋದು 3 hours ಸಾಕು.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
ಬಟ್ ಅವರು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಧ್ಯ ಮಧ್ಯ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ತಲೆನೋವು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಷ್ಟಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ಲೆಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ 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 ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, 2 ಸತಿ ಪ್ರಿಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, 3 ಸತಿ 4 ಸತಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ 1 hour ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರಿಟೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೆಲಿಂಗರಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಪಿಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಪ್.
ಮೆಲಿಂಗರಿಂಗ್ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳೋದು.
ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳೋದು.
ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಅವ್ನು ನೀವು ಸತ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಶುಗರ್ ನೀವು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಚುಕ್ಕಿ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಡ್ರಾಮಾ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರು. ಆ ಡ್ರಾಮಾ ನಾವು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಂಡಿಡ್ದು ಹೇಳೋದು ಭಾರಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ವೆರಿ ರಿಗರಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡ್ರಾನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್.
ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಬೈ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಅನದರ್ 3 hours.
ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ
ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಗೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೇನೆ. ಫ್ಯೂ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಐವ್ ಗಾನ್ ಟು ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿತ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹುಬ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ, ಧಾರವಾಡದಿಂದ, ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ, ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗ, ಹಾಸನ್ನು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್.
Your evidence will be recorded.
Exactly.
That will be the basis for the judge to decide case.
Yes.
And he or she has to look to the documents,
Correct.
your evidence,
Correct.
and then take an appropriate decision.
So in my affidavit, I give all the details. Detailed affidavit ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ದ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನಫ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ಜಡ್ಜ್. ಆ ಥರ.
ಸೊ ತಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್.
Correct.
ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಕಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್.
ಈ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ನೀವು ಹೇಳೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ದಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಇಫ್ he or she is admitted, and that will speak for itself. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾದಿ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಪೀಪಲ್, ದೇ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ದಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಹೌ ಟು ಅಸೆಸ್? he will state before the court, depose before the court that I have spent 1 lakh rupees. There are no underlying documents.
Correct.
So then under those circumstances, the judge will have to decide the probable amount that he might have spent, he or she might have spent, on the basis of broad preponderance of probabilities. ಮಾಡಬೇಕದು. ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಪಾಂಡರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಜಡ್ಜಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 10 days ಅವನು ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 40,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees. ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಜಡ್ಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೂ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕೇಸ್.
The humanity comes here. That means you are going beyond the chatbut of law.
No.
ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟಪ ಲೈನ್ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡಿ.
Just because no bills are produced, does it mean to say that he did not spend anything at all? He has spent, but there are some constraints. But broad preponderance of probabilities ಅಂತ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ
Preponderance of
probabilities ಅಂತ.
Interesting.
That's very, very important. In criminal case, what happens is proof beyond reasonable doubt. That means preponderance of probabilities ಗಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ higher ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ judges will have to, that's how whose case is more acceptable.
Correct.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನೀವೊಂದು ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ as a doctor, as an expert, you will have given some evidence. There is the oral evidence of the victim also.
Correct.
There are documentary evidence. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ say what probable decision a judge has to take. it's a very great
Mm.
exercise.
But very challenging also.
Very
sir.
challenging
Because
Because it'll challenge you so much because there's no formula. You
Formula.
have to
There is
apply
no
your
formula.
own
Yeah.
individual mind. It's so ಅವಾಗಲೇ you people are so overworked. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದು
True.
ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಅದು
ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ಅದ-
See,
correct,
I
sir,
think
but
the
justice is
amount
to
of
be
No,
done.
I agree.
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? Otherwise, what a victim or the family members victim. We spent so much. He has so much of difficulty. What a great injustice to us. The system should not be criticized, Allah.
That's what you mentioned, sir. Just compensation.
Just
compensation. Yeah, injustice ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ just compensation. Just ಅಂದ್ರೆ appropriate ತಕ್ಕಂತ.
ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
ಹೇಳಿ
ಸ್ಕೋಪ್
sir.
ಆಫ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್.
Yeah,
ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
we should
hundreds
say,
of
sir.
judgments are
But
there in the
please
ಇಲ್ಲ,
tell us. I
ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು.
think
just judgment and just compensation ಅಂದ್ರೆ it should neither be below nor excess.
ಬಟ್
ಅದು
ಯಾರು
windfall
ಯಾರು
ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು.
ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ
Windfall
ಸರ್ ಅದು?
ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಮೆಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಅದು ಬಿಲೋನ ಅಭಾವ ನೀವು
ಇಲ್ಲ,
ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೀರಾ. ಬಟ್
ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ
ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬಿಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದೊಂದು 50-60 ಸಾವಿರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಿಡು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಇದೊಂದು ಕಾಗ್ನಿಟಿವ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಇವನಿಗೆ ನೆನಪೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಇವನಿಗೆ ಮರವು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆರ್ಥೋಪೆಡಿಕ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮುರಿದಿದೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಲ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ,
ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನ್ಯೂರೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಡೇಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವು ಸರ್ತಿ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವನು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕಾಗ್ನಿಟಿವ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಮರ್ತೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ, ನಿಮ್ಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಹಾಗಂತ ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದ್ದೇನಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್.
No, sir, that's why I started the conversation with documents, sir. One of my earlier cases when I got into the box, I also learned so much from appearing in the court, in the box, from everybody, in the system. One very smart insurance lawyer, sir, BNS ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು, ಅವರು ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ he came, I was in the box, ಇದು ಓದ್ತೊಂಡೆ, he said, "Doctor, I am not debating the RTI." ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಓಕೆ, ರೋಡ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ನಾನು ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಹಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಬೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು.
ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಯು.
ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಬೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸುಳ್ಳು, ಸತ್ಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ.
ಓಕೆ,
I said, where is this guy taking it? ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ there's some agenda he has got a plan ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪತ್ರಗಳು one of the earlier I am debating that this disability is because of this accident. How do you prove it? ಅದು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. I said, why? See, doctor, this accident happened 2 years ago. Last 1.5 years he's never gone to doctor. How do you say this? He could have had any problem in between, no? Yes. I said, of course. He could have had a stroke. I said, yes. So he says, rest his argument is about he got me out of the box in 5 minutes, sir.
Good, nice also.
Unbelievable. It hit me like a truck.
True.
I said, this man is right. So from that day, sir, without follow-up records, I don't go to court, sir. Now, neurally, sir, unlike orthopedics where you can do an X-ray every 3 months and say, sotagide, seedagide, normally patient, sir, no follow-up. No, there is no brain function test. Correct. So patient has to report to us. Now, if the patient has never gone to a neuro doctor with any problem, and suddenly at the time of assessing disability comes to me with a long set of problems, I sullalla, sir, heltarado. Because my logic is very simple. If you have pain in the leg, you'll go to doctor.
Correct.
Court or no court. Let us say you go to first doctor. Pain kammi aglila. You'll go to second doctor, same doctor next. Until some solution is given, you'll keep on going and you'll have all those documents to show. If you have never gone to the court to say kashta sukha nange hingide hangide idagtalla andre, I tell everybody it only means 2 things. Number 1, you are fit and fine. Number 2, you don't care. If you don't care, why we should care? Sir, because this is not tamasha, this is public money, sir. So you have to be interested in your health. Why should the court or the doctor be interested in your health, but you are not interested in your health?
ನಮಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ the whole object of the judges is to see that no inadequate compensation is granted. At the same time, it should not be a windfall. ಇವೆರಡನ್ನೂ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮನಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ
ಹೌದು.
Absolutely, sir. That's where I realized, sir, because initially they used to come and tell me, sir, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ sir, please give more. It will help the people. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ sir. How many have come and said, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, this is public money. I am this witness for the court. I am not appearing on your side. So I have to be fair. And in that situation, ಸೊನ್ನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, 100 ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. I'll come and defend the percentage that I have given, but it has to go through a logic.
Correct.
So another interesting evidence, this one I had, same person, sir, same BNS. One is the patient I went to give evidence for was an X-ray technician who used to work in Kidwai Hospital and used to work part-time in my hospital in the evening, sir.
Correct.
So I know him before the accident.
Correct.
That means I know Loknath, the kate ella gottide, sir. He had he had an accident, sir. Taligu etaito, he had a femur fracture. Alle admit ಆದ. Then ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎದ್ದು ಸುಮಾರು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ನಾನೇ ಕಣ್ಣಾರೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ರೇ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೊಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ತಿದ್ದಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. He was not performing like before. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಐ ನ್ಯೂ he had a genuine problem of disability. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದೆ. 33.3% ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ತೆ ಓದ್ತೊಂಡೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೇ, ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಚಕ್ಕದ ಸೂಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಸರ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಈ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಐ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಪೇಪರ್. ಕಿದ್ವಾಯ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಸರ್.
For his performance.
The petitioner lawyer did not know about this document, sir. ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೇ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. It has not come in the way of avocation. Thank you.
Correct. Nice,
Which is
Doctor,
right. Absolutely
fair.
right.
Absolutely fair. That's what I'm saying, sir. When you have intelligent lawyers like this who are doing their homework, no, sir.
Correct.
It actually, for me, it's a joy because he is actually challenging the system and making sure we get the right data out of the situation. Amazing. Some of them have done such fantastic homework.
Correct.
I enjoyed those things.
In fact, they take the law forward,
Exactly, sir.
That's how the law develops.
Very true.
Doctor, one important thing. See, let us assume that A has a neurological disability because of the accident involving a motor vehicle. After some time, an application is filed seeking compensation. It will be decided some compensation will be given. See, many times we come that there will be a remark by the doctor. A review after 6 months, review after 1 year. Let
3 months, sometimes 1 month, 2 months.
3 months, 2 months.
Huh.
For example, in the initial stages, he might have some epilepsy because of the consequence of.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
yes, yes.
So, how it might be continued or it might not continue also for medication also. If he has perfectly managed, say followed what is advised by the doctor, there is every chance that the epilepsy might have come down or it might have completely ceased also. But how do you assess and assist the court? And many a times inadequate compensation may be given.
I can tell you that, sir.
Okay.
So again, this happened with my exchange in the court. I had written, patient came to me for a follow-up on this date ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದೆ ಸರ್. ನಾನು because I had written my note.
Correct.
ಅವ್ನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. Receipt ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. That means I could have cooked up those dates.
Correct.
So I said, oh, he's asking that. Next, ಔಷಧಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ. Did you write medicines? I said, yes. How sure are you he has purchased it?
He's taken it.
So he's very right. How sure are you he swallowed it? Because he has not given bills.
Correct.
Sir, such valuable information. I didn't realize that. I am assuming that ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಔಷಧಿ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವ್ನು ತೋಳಿದ ನಮಗೆ ಸರ್.
You can't speak on his behalf.
And he is saying, sir, that these bills are not in the court. I said that it is left to the court to decide.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. And so what I'm saying is, ಒಂದು ನಮ್ದು ಟಿವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಟಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದಾಲತ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ?
ಹೌದು.
ಜೋ ದಿಕ್ತಾ ಹೈ ಹೋತಾನೆ ಹೋ ದಿಕ್ತಾ ಹೈ.
Correct.
So I realized there's so much more happening that we are oblivious to. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಪಿಲೆಪ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್, ಎಪಿಲೆಪ್ಸಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕಲಿ
very serious consequence of accident is
Especially for
epilepsy.
drivers.
I agree with you completely because we always say as neuroscience neurologists, one epilepsy can kill a patient, sir. ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್, 15-20 ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ there was a BMTC bus driver driving on the Hanumat Nagar main road, sir.
Yes.
In the middle of the day, he had an epileptic fit when he was driving the bus, sir. Whether he was a known epileptic, our details ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Okay.
He lost consciousness, lost control, bus went on the footpath, sir. 6 people died for no fault of them. ಇವಾಗ ವೈ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಎಪಿಲೆಪ್ಸಿ, ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಇಂಜರಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್, ಕಾರ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರಕ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್
auto
ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್
drivers.
ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್. ಇವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಪಿಲೆಪ್ಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಸ್ಕಾರ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಅವಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಐ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಫಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಟು ಡ್ರೈವ್. ಅವ್ನೇನು ಸರ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್ ನೀವು?
They may quarrel with you
Oh,
also.
They
entangle.
have quarreled with me, sir. The
Ah.
lawyer has quarreled with me. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ patient, you're not giving fitness. ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಪಾಡು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. How is he going to survive? I said, no, pa, I cannot give you evidence because you have had epilepsy. The Indian Motor Vehicles Act says very clearly,
Correct.
one seizure, you cannot drive for life. And ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ನೀನು ಹೋದೆ 2 seconds ನೀನು ಈ ಥರ ಆಯಿತು. ಇವಾಗ ನೀನು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ, ನಾನು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಜಡ್ಜಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಫಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಟು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಸರ್? ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಅಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ and I have to be responsible when giving the certificate. So I have to write he can do non-driving work. ಇವಾಗ BMTC but non-driving bench what is that ಇದು ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸನೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಇವಾಗ why I am bringing that to you, sir, is one is two things here, sir. One is the motor vehicles accident. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ now we have been petitioning the judicial system for many years from the neurosurgeons and neurologists there to say epilepsy treatment has improved significantly worldwide. It is not as much as a Scrooge that it was in the past as far as managing is concerned. Internationally, if the patient is, seizure free, no epilepsy for at least 3 years, and his EEG ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಎದೆಗೆ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಬ್ರೈನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಎದೆಗೆ ECG ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಬ್ರೈನ್ಗೆ EEG, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋ ಎನ್ಸೆಫಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಇಫ್ EEG is normal and his MRI scan is normal and he's been seizure free for 3 years, you should be allow him, I would say he is fit to drive ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಪೆಟಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ತನಕ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Doctor,
I think maybe through your offices.
I would like to know is whether EEG and this MRI would satisfactorily show that he had not suffered any epilepsy.
Sir, yes or no to that?
ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನನಗೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹಿಸ್
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು
ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್
ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು
ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್
ಸರ್.
ಬ್ಯಾಕ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, we have to do the EEG. We have to do an EEG. Our EEG ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು from a standard place we will do the EEG.
Correct.
And so, but having asked, since you have asked me a very pointed question, ಇವಾಗ suppose epilepsy fits ಬಂತದ್ದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರ್, within 6 hours the EEG can become normal. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? So just because the EEG is normal doesn't mean he is not an epileptic.
Correct.
But if we have EEG serially of 3 years of no seizure and EEG normal, then we can take a reasonable thought that he may not have epilepsy, sir. One. Secondly, ನಾವು MRI ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗಲೂ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 4 mm 5 mm ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ನಾವು. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಕಾರ್ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ MRI ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ 100% there is no scar in the brain which can trigger an epilepsy. I'll give you one story for that. I had my own head injury patient. Very bad head injury ಆಯಿತು, ಟ್ರೈಕಾಸ್ಟಿಮಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. He recovered well. 5 years he never had epilepsy, sir.
Yes.
And then now some people like us give prophylactic anticonvulsants. ಅವಾಗೇನು ಯಾವುದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸೀಜರ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ I'd given him for 5 years, sir. 5 years he was seizure free, EEG normal ಇತ್ತು, MRI normal ಇತ್ತು. I stopped the medicines in a periodic way. ಔಷಧಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. He had come to the level of got back into community, sir. He was driving with his family to ಮೇಲ್ಕೋಟೆ ಸರ್, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ. ಮೇಲ್ಕೋಟೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕಾರ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾನೆ, 1 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. He had an epileptic fit. ಸರ್ ಅವನ ಲಕ್ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್, 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೊದಲಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ
Consequences would have been unimaginable.
What I'm saying is, so why, that's my answer to you. I can't give you a 100% black and white answer. So it becomes very tricky.
True.
Yet, ಇವಾಗ how do we cross this line? Because ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ ನೀನು ಗಾಡಿನ ಓಡಿಸ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೀವನ ಟುಡೇ if you're not mobile in this world, how can you do your business or anything in life, sir? And you can't constantly depend on an Uber or an Ola or something else constantly at the end. Bari kashta, sir. What I'm trying to say is this humanity, we don't know, sir. I'm not saying putting the ball in your court, but there are so many unwritten things that we don't even know what happens at the end of the day. But one seizure can kill a patient, especially ನಿದ್ದೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟರೆ, ಓದ ಕೆಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. Even a known epileptic on medicines can have this disaster. So coming back to documentations, I want to tell you one more story. One day, there was a boy engineering student who had a head injury admitted under me, sir. He was the nephew of the psychologist of my hospital.
Yes.
ನಾನೇ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವ್ನು ಸುಮಾರು ಸ್ಲೋವಾಗಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ. ಎಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್, ಇಟ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಬೆಟರ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ he had eventually gone back to college. He was an engineering student. ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಇದೇ ಕೇಸ್ ಬಂತು, ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬಂತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅವಳೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಲು. Then I was entering the court, sir. Court hall. I was in the complex. I was entering ACCM 121 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. The junior lawyer came out. She said, sir, we are withdrawing the case, not postponing. ಯಾಕಮ್ಮ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿ, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಸರ್, 21 ದಿವಸ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, 21 days. ದ ಸೇಮ್ 21 days ಅವರು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಈ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪುಣ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡೋದು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸರ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೋ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. Sir, I'm really appreciating how some of these insurance people, I love this because you have to be honest. At the end of the day, your system is cheat ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು.
True.
Why am I telling you all these episodes, viewers, is that don't cheat the system. Be honest. If you are honest, all honest people will support you to get what just compensation you want. Hello, sir.
The whole process, the whole object of doing cross-examination is to know the credibility of the witness.
Hello, sir.
If the witness withstands the rigor of the cross-examination,
Correct.
it will be helpful for a judge to
Very
say,
true.
ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸತ್ಯನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವರು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಸತ್ಯನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಕೇಸ್ ವೈಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಚ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟು ಮತ್ತು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟಿನ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ಆ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಈ ಇದರಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ಥೋಪೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಸುಲಭ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ಕ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ಸ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಹಿ ಮೀಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೇ ಹಿಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಲೆಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಪ್ಯುಟೇಟೆಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ನೀ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ he doesn't lose the appointment. He finds it difficult to go and attend the ಇದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫು, ಇನ್ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಹೆಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಏನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ವೀಲ್ ಚೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ರಚಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾನೆ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಅವ್ನು ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಬರೋದೇನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಏನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಕೋಟಾದಲ್ಲೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡ್ರೈವರು, ಇಫ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೆಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಪ್ಯುಟೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಬೌವ್, ಅವ್ನು ಡ್ರೈವೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಸ್ ಯು ಸೆಡ್, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮ್ಯುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲೆಷರ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಲ್ದಲೇನೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಇವೆರಡೂ
ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಸೆಡ್.
ಇದು ಚಾಟ್ ಜಿಪಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಪ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇವ್ರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
ಚಾಟ್ ಜಿಪಿಟಿ
ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸೆಡ್ ಸರ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದು ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಸರ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್.
ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಡಾಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸು, ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಗ್, ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಜಡ್ಜಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಗ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವರು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ
ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಲಿಂಬ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಇದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್
ಪ್ರೋಥೋಸಿಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೋದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಬರುತ್ತಾ, 6 ವರ್ಷ ಬರುತ್ತಾ, ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಮ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು 60,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿನೋ 50,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿನೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಂಪ್ನಿದೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಸರ್ತಿ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ವೆರಿ ಟ್ರೂ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್, not only if the amputation for a driver because of which he cannot drive comes in, there's a loss of avocation and income versus
avocational disability.
Somebody who's doing a desk job who can continue to do this job, except access to the job becomes a little difficult. That's a different circumstance. So what sir is saying very hilariously is, chat GPT will not know this difference, but how the decision has to be made, and which means that the human being, the humanity becomes very important to know. And also these limbs, how long is the life of the limb? So all that has to be factored in to think about the lifespan of the patient and making sure the disability is supported all through the life of the patient. So not just 5 years or 10. In fact, now that because you brought this up, sir, in Western countries, especially Scandinavian countries, sir, Norway, Sweden, they actually fund the wheelchair, battery operated wheelchair. They fund the modification of the kitchen, the modification of bathroom, ಎಲ್ಲ fund ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ sir as a part of their insurance. So I think rehabilitation point ಅಂದ್ರೆ rehabilitation ಒಂದಲ್ಲ, reintegrating them back sir. Rehabilitation ಒಂದು ಐತೆ. rehabilitation ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಎಲ್ಲ 100% ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. They will remain with a permanent disability. ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, how can the system support them to become functionally independent and not dependent?
Correct.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ವೀಲ್ ಚೇರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ, ವೀಲ್ ಚೇರ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತಾ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ದೆ ಕುಕ್ ವಿತ್ ವೀಲ್ ಚೇರ್, ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ.
ಕಿಚನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್
Yes,
ಟು
yes.
ಸೂಟ್ ದೇರ್
Yes,
ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯನ್ಸ್
yes.
ಅಂಡ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್.
ಡೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಾತ್ರೂಮ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡೋರ್ 2 feet ಇದ್ರೆ ವೀಲ್ ಚೇರ್ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವೈಡನ್ ದ ಡೋರ್. ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್.
ramp access to the house,
ರ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್
all
ಇರಬೇಕು.
that is done, and all that is funded by this compensation money,
ಅಲ್ಲ,
sir.
ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ, ಟು
ಹೌದು.
ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟೀಸ್
So,
ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೈಲ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಬರೀ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನಾವು.
Sir, why is that? See, if you look at the Right to the People with Disabilities Act, it has to cover all these things. It's not just about the myopic feature of the disability, the immediate problem.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
How can they become a productive citizen of this country?
Correct.
And unless you empower them by doing a lot of things, this will not happen, sir.
Correct.
The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, the words are very clear, sir. Social justice and empowerment. Sir, wheelchair is not empowerment in this country, sir. Now, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಾಲಿದೆ ನಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, sir.
ನಾವೇ
ಹೌದು.
ನಡಿಯಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
Which of the footpaths are
Correct,
wheelchair friendly, you show me,
correct,
compared to the West?
correct.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ wheelchair access ಇದೆ? Many of the government offices are not wheelchair access, sir. One of the other common issues I'll bring to your notice just to make you understand, sir. Vision, sir.
ಹಾ.
Lot of patients lose vision because of accidents.
ಹಾ.
Sarana. So, even till today, many courts where I give vision disabilities. You may ask me, Doctor, I'm a neurosurgeon, how are you giving vision disability? So, everybody thinks vision is kangude, sir,
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
or eyeball.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Sir, eyeball is the least of the worries, sir.
ಹಾ.
Ivaga, you see how interesting God has created this human body. You have two eyes, but you see one object.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Why are you not seeing two objects? Satyavad, you should see two objects, sir.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
Because this is merging is happening not in your eye, in your brain.
ರೈಟ್.
The brain is merging two to see one object. So, eye doctorಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗೀತು ಸರ್. ಕಣ್ಣು ನರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬಂದು ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಸರ್.
ಓ.
It's all neurosurgeon's job, sir. From the time the eye nerve leaves the eye, goes, mixes up and everything else. You know what is very interesting, sir, in neurological disabilities? If you have a stroke or a head injury to those aspects of the brain that control vision, you don't lose vision in one eye, sir. If a kan good effect happened, one eye is gone, sir. Up to the nerve. Beyond, once the nerves meet and goes beyond what we call as optic chasm, sir, you have very interesting vision loss, sir. One half of the vision gets affected, sir. Of
Yeah.
both eyes. If I'm seeing like this, if I see a paper, ee baga kansate, ee baga kansala, sir. So that one, the moment I turn like this, I can see this, so people don't even realize.
I would like to put a very direct question to you. You have seen lot of patients with serious neurological disabilities arising out of various types of accidents, whether with vehicles or without vehicles. Now, if something is done medically before they actually get compensation, what would be the position? And how do you assess this? And what is your inputs? Because this will have a great bearing. Even the governments can think of.
Correct.
I
I
think-
can.
And
Yeah,
even
I
our
can answer
even see, because Honorable Supreme Court alone has the power to make a law
True.
under Article 141 of the Constitution of India. Because even we can't find fault with them also.
Correct,
If an appropriate case comes, they will lay down the law.
Absolutely.
They will lay
Absolutely.
down the law, and that
Absolutely.
becomes the law
How?
till an appropriate law is made by the
Yeah, and
concerned
somebody has to
governments.
educate
Ah.
about this problem ಇದೆ ಅಂತ.
Ground in the ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ
Has to
ಸರ್.
tell.
ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೊಂದು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 2 ವರ್ಷನೋ 2 years 3 years ದೇ ಮೇ ಗೆಟ್ ದಿ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್. ಬೈ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರ್ರಿವರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
Correct, correct.
ಸೊ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಥ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ,
ಹೌದು.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ವಾಟ್ ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಡು ಯು ಗಿವ್?
So I think
I'll give you
she's
some
a
examples.
She's a rehabilitation expert also.
So we run a rehabilitation center. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಸಿಯೋಥೆರಪಿ, ಆಕ್ಯುಪೇಷನಲ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಸ್ವಾಲೋ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಪೇಯ್ನ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಮೆಮರಿ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಲ್ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಮೀ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬ್, ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಈ MVC ಕೇಸ್, MLC ಕೇಸಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕಾಗ್ನಿಟಿವ್ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಐ ಡು, ಓಕೆ, as a neuropsychologist. Then I have other disabilities which can be assessed by the physiotherapist, occupational therapist. ಕೈಗೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇದ್ರೆ occupational therapist ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. We do the comprehensive disability assessment. ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ I can say at least 85 to 90% of the times we can actually bring them to a good level. ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ 100% ಸರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 80 to 90% ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಇನಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್. I have examples like that. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇರೋವಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಐ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಟು ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇವಾಗ ತುಂಬ ಎಲ್ಲ ಖರ್ಚಾಗೋಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲೈಸೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರಲಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. This is all standard answer I get. Very sad. And you know how long the court proceedings takes, with due respect. Now, by the time, if at all they come back, they come after 6 months, 1 year. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆ ವಿಂಡೋ 3 years, 4, whatever year, ಆ ವಿಂಡೋ ಆಫ್ ನಾವು ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ವಿಂಡೋ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಸಚ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೂ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್, ಟೂ ಸ್ಲೋ. ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅದು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ 6 months, considerable improvement can be seen, sir.
ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ, then do you recommend that in certain cases it is always better to give evidence, or better let them file application depending upon the progress of the case, or you will monitor it and give evidence, alva? That will help you, alva?
That will be better, sir.
The couple of things I want to add and say differently with what she has said. Number one is that the patients who come to her for disability, more often than not, are already conscious, at least wheelchair bound, and not unconscious. Very rarely. Our unconscious idoralla ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ disability assessment, because they our memory assessment, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂದೈತೆ ಸರ್, memory assessment ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. So that's where it's very different from what she said. 80-90% of recovery may not happen in all of these patients.
Not in all of them.
Many
people who come to me,
many of these patients may not in recover consciousness, sir. ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾನ ತಪ್ಪು ಬಂದ್ರೆ, when he comes unconscious, sir, there is no scan in this world to tell me if he's going to recover or not, sir. There is no way to tell, sir. Vishwadalla, there is no scan, sir. I'll give you a couple of interesting stories to drive my point home before I come back to this point. There was an accident that happened in Anantapur one day, sir. This is pre-COVID. An accident agide, they wanted me to treat from Anantapur all the way to Bengaluru, karಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ patient. ನಾನು ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋದೆ ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವ್ನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡೇಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ನೋ ಸರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಅ ಫುಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ವೂಂಡ್ ಸರ್, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ 2 pieces of bone lying on the road, sir, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ನ್ಯೂ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ವೂಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಕಟ್ ದಿ plaster and opened the bandage to see what's going on here, to decide what I have to do. Slowly I removed the bandage, is in my hand. In my hand, sir, is his brain. In my hand here, his brain is in my hand. Think about it. Bad case. Hopeless case, Allah, sir.
Hopeless case.
That's what all of you think. He is conscious. He was talking. He lifted his hands. He told me his name. He told me his address.
Address also.
What does that mean? It means whatever it means. That means that area of the brain is not doing this work. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆ್ಯಪ್, ಇದಾಗಿದ್ದು ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್. I'm just giving you a very simple, simplistic explanation to that. On the other side, you can have a patient with not even one cut on the head, not in one drop of blood, no fracture, deeply unconscious. Brain is a very strange organ, sir. So now, yaake I'm telling you this specifically is, orthopedics ಅಲ್ಲಿ fracture ಅಂದ್ರೆ serious.
Correct.
Fracture is not serious.
Correct.
So stitches are the serious. No stitches, not serious. This is how they ಹೋಗ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಚಸ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಟೆಲ್ even in my judges training, sir, you can 1000 stitches on his head, he can have 0 disability. He can have 10 fractures of his skull, he can have 0 disability. Unless the fracture is causing cosmetic problems.
Yes.
Then you give a cosmetic disability, not a functional disability.
No.
On the other side, you can have the skull intact, skin intact, you can have deep brain injury, and he can be unconscious with 100% disability. So this is how different the neurological assessment is from an orthopedic assessment. And the court struggles with this because they are oriented from the orthopedic logic, and they can't use the orthopedic logic to the neurologics.
I tell you my own experience. I was sessions judge, district and session judge in Mangalore. There was a motor vehicles case. I recorded the evidence. He had sustained a serious head injury, and the consequences of that injury was the wife came and gave evidence. And his behavior after the accident, it was unimaginable. And the wife gave such an explanation of his behavior. I couldn't comprehend. And Agata, can this happen to him?
Is it real?
And he was so fine with her prior to accident, and the manner in which he used to treat lady alone can tell.
True.
So then I had to give a very reasonable compensation
on behavior, because of
behavior. And that was irreversible, and that was also corroborated by the evidence. Now I was taken. We see several consequences of disabilities. But can this also happen? He said 1 in 1,000 this can happen. The doctor said.
Correct.
Absolutely what he says, sir. I have had patients and they have kicked me, they spat on me, they have bitten me. It's a misbehaving brain, sir. This can happen to you, it can happen to me, it can happen to her if the brain is in a state. Sometimes it is temporary, many times it is permanent. And you can ಅದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಈ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಆ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಸೊ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ we are one of the few organizations in India which is running neuro rehabilitation from an ICU till the communities.
Correct.
Because the earlier you start rehabilitation, the better the patient's outcome probability is. So we go to the extent of taking the patient to a mall and teaching them how to get onto the escalator so that they can get back to their lives.
ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಜರ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಅವ್ರೇ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್, ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ವಿಗ್ಗಿ, ಝೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೋಡೋದು, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೋಡೋದು, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇವರ್ ಪ್ರಯರ್ ಏನೇನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನೀವು ಕಾರು ಗಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, 26 km/liter ಅಂತ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪುಟಾನ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೋಡಿದಿರ ಅದು?
ಹೌದು.
ಇನ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಓಟ್ರೆ ಬಂಪರ್ ಟು ಬಂಪರ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಸರ್ ಸದಾಶಿವ ನಗರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಹಂಗೇನೆ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ನಡೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅವ್ನ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು. ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ like they say, no, the ship is built not to be safe on the shore but to explore the ocean. Alva, that is how it is. So we have to do that at the end of the day.
They will have to be in the midst of the society, sir. Otherwise, how can they?
Otherwise, the societal reintegration doesn't happen. Haga maduve hogala, idu hogala, adu hogala anbiಟ್ಟು he becomes a social and emotional wreck.
ಈ ಎಪಿಲೆಪ್ಸಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So we will have to remove that stigma also.
Absolutely. Very well said. So coming back to your question about the rehabilitation. So we start rehabilitation very early. So unconscious patients, we are one of the few this one organizations in India which does something called coma stimulation. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರ್ಸೋದು ಅಂತ ಕೋಮಾ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. So her team does that. Can you tell us about coma stimulation?
So comatose patient ಗೆ as early as medically stable ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕೆಲವರಂತೂ ವೆಂಟಿಲೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. In spite of that we do that. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಕೋಮಾ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಲ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್,
ಕಾಫಿ ಪೌಡರ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್, ಸೋಪ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್, ಪರ್ಫ್ಯೂಮ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಿದೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದಾಗತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ವೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಪ್.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗಸ್ಟೇಟರಿ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹನಿ ಹಾಕೋದು, ನಿಂಬೆ ಹುಳಿ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಉಪ್ಪು, ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಈ ತರದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಆಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸರಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಣ್ಣು ಓಪನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಲರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್, ಲೈಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕಣ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಡೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎವ್ರಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಡೇ ಕಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ ಓವರ್ ಅ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್. ಅದಾದ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಜನಗಳನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ತೋರಿಸಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಥೆರಪಿ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ವಾಲೋ ಥೆರಪಿ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎದ್ದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು,
ಅದು ಫಿಸಿಯೋಥೆರಪಿ.
ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
ಬಹಳ ಲೆಂಗ್ತಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್.
ಹೌದು,
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಕೈ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್, ಕೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಸಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಮಿನಾ ಬರಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಫೈನ್ ಮೋಟರ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಅನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಬಟನ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ, ತಲೆ ಬಾಚಕ್ಕೆ, ಬ್ರಷ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ರೀಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದು ಬರಲ್ಲ.
I'll give you a simple logic, sir. Even ನೀವು ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆ್ಯಪ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ you want to attach a video. Until you go to that feature and attempt to attach the video, you don't know whether that feature is working. The brain is like that. Unless somebody ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಅಭಿಮಾನಿ ತರ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಸರ್. He goes into the ಚಕ್ರವೇ, he can't come out of the ಚಕ್ರವೇ. That is what nobody is understanding. No court is, court is the last. Our doctors are not understanding this.
Very true.
Because, and what the brain does not know, the eyes can't see. So we are in this whole illusion. ಒಂದು ಮಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಾಗೋಯ್ತು ಹಂಗಾಗೋಯ್ತು, ಇಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಹೆಡ್ ಇಂಜರಿ ರಿಕವರ್ ಆದ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ನು ಬಂದಾಗ ಓಪಿಡಿಗೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ದೆ. ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಸರ್ ಅವನು. ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಸರ್. ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪೆನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನೇನೋ ಸರಿ ಏನು ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
He is showing that you light. That means I am dialing 2 on his phone, 3 is dialing.
ಅಚ್ಚಾ.
Software function, malfunction.
ಏನೋ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆದಂಗೆ.
ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ.
Otherwise he is okay.
He looks all right. ನಾವು ನೀವು ಇದ್ದಂಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
I had one of the couple of stories, just I'm not ridiculing anybody, viewers, just to make you understand how this brain misbehaves. One Muslim patient had a bad head injury. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರಿಕವರ್ ಆದ ಸರ್. ಮನೆಗೆ ಗಾಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್. One day the wife and son came to see me very depressed. ಸರ್ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಬರೀ ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್.
ಇಷ್ಟಿಷ್ಟು
ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್.
Only, not once, only ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್.
He doesn't eat anything.
No biryani, nothing. Anything you put, he spits on the face.
ಅಚ್ಚಾ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್ ನೋಡಿ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ಬಿಡಿದೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್. Please do something. I thought, I did not know there was a ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್ center in the brain. I don't know which circuit, what happened. 6 months, sir. ಬರೀ ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಾತ್. One fine day, he started eating something else. I don't know what it is.
ತಾನಾಗೆ ಸೆಟ್ ರೈಟ್.
ತಾನಾಗೆ ಸೆಟ್ ರೈಟ್. ನಾನೇನು ತಾನಾಗೆ ಸೆಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡು ಸರ್.
On its own.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು patient, he recovered from unconsciousness. He started calling some other lady's name. So the wife is like, ನೋಡಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ, ಯಾರದು? ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತು? Who is that lady is called? ನೋಡಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ, I am taking care. He has some other wife. Let him go to hell. I'll go away. That's ಜಗಳ. I said, how can you fight with me at the end of the day? I don't know whether it's true, whether it is false. What is going on? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ತರಲ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಮ್ದು ಮೊದಲು ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್.
ಹೌದು,
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಯಾವ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತು ಸರ್ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. If the fellows, his brain is firing like this, how will he go back to work? Imagine your assistant comes back and behaves like this. ನೀವೇ ಸರ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ? You can't do anything about it. But somebody has ಈ ತಾಳ್ಮೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ.
ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ, the government needs to take this issue on priority ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
I think so, sir. I think so.
You are doing, your institution is doing a human work, but it is too insufficient for such a large proportion.
One small drop, sir.
Small drop ಅಲ್ಲ ಪಾಪ. That's a human work you are doing, but this has to be replicated on a larger scale.
Absolutely.
By the government
and driven by the government, sir.
By the government and the big hospitals.
So, yeah, it has to be driven by the government, probably the Ministry of Social Justice and we don't mind, being a part of this. But again, what you have said, sir, I want to give you a GDP data of what's happening, sir. So I told you the fact that nearly 40 lakh Indians are getting disabled every year because of these 3 medical conditions.
Correct.
Head injury, stroke and dementia. This is 2010 data of NIMHANS. Now, if you take the 2025 data, it must be 1 crore every year.
Correct.
So many people are happening. So imagine, sir, as a social obligation by the ministry, if they can help 4 lakh such patients who are bedridden and not productive, earn 5,000 rupees per month, which is less than minimum wages. We will be adding 2,400 crores to India's GDP annually, sir, which is a serious amount of money. And if this system can help another 4 lakh families save 5,000 rupees per month on medical expenses, like diapers, adult diapers, like patient is toilet trained. So the
ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ,
diaper train ಮಾಡಿ toilet train ಮಾಡಿ diaper ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the same 5,000 rupees per month family has to fund their children's education and their future. Another 2,400 crores added to India's GDP. So this is a GDP problem. It is not avun hane bara, nam hane bara, alla sir adu. We as a collective country is responsible to prevent accidents, give the acute care, and definitely rehabilitate as many people as possible to become productive citizens. Ad namdu hakku our hakku namdu javabdari sir. It is our responsibility to make that happen, sir.
True.
Otherwise we are failing in this. And imagine, sir, you are talking Viksit Bharat and you are not empowering the disabled. How unfair is that, sir? How can one section of the country become rich and the other section is marginalized and left behind? How is that possible?
Probably we have to focus on this, and the persons who are at the helm of affairs, definitely if they come to know, I think they will also take serious cognizance of this.
They should be empowered.
No, it's our duty also to bring to their knowledge.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether it is higher judiciary or the government, as the case may be. I think I am confident that our high courts and our honorable Supreme Court might have taken it, and they will take it with more rigor. And one happy incident, one happy news is that Lok Adalats are being held. Top priority is given for accident cases.
Oh, I didn't know that. I see.
A lot of cases are being settled, and judges and insurance companies are cooperating. Lawyers appearing for claimants are cooperating well, and I feel that this section, persons suffering with neurological disabilities, require a greater priority. I am confident that all the high courts and will take up serious notes, and our district judiciary will also take serious notes. See, when I was a district judge, I used to concentrate more on neurological disabilities case, because they will have borrowed huge money on higher rate of interest.
Absolutely.
Nobody will give. So 20%, 25%. Meter buddy. We will call it meter rate interest. What should happen? 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Their family will have been ruined.
Absolutely.
The generations, sir, sometimes 2-3 generations, sir. I agree with you completely. Completely agree with you, sir. So now when you're saying you want to settle larger number of cases, then it's good to have a software or a system where it can empower people to at least come to some basic understanding that every case, everything is time consuming process. What need not have a human interface which has this? If somebody, one of your assistants can get it to a certain stage for you, maybe that's where we have to make a commitment to make these apps also available, because certain things can be done which can empower the system to make the just compensation more rapidly available, so that it can be settled in Lok Adalats much faster. So I'll give you some more examples of how. See, not to say kaal mula murdu, but it's easy to, like, you can see one of the other common issues I'll bring to your notice just to make you understand, sir. Vision, sir. Lot of patients lose vision because of accidents. Sarana. So even till today, many courts where I give vision disabilities. You may ask me, Doctor, I'm a neurosurgeon, how are you giving vision disability? So everybody thinks vision is kan gude, sir, or eyeball.
Correct.
Sir, eyeball is the least of the worries, sir. You see how interesting God has created this human body. You have 2 eyes, but you see one object.
Correct.
Why are you not seeing 2 objects? Satya, you should see 2 objects, sir.
Correct.
Because this merging is happening not in your eye, in your brain.
Right.
The brain is merging 2 to see one object. So ಐ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಗುಡ್ಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗೀತು ಸರ್. ಈ ಕಣ್ಣು ನರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬಂದು ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಸ್, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಸರ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ನ್ಯೂರೋಸರ್ಜನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಸರ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ದ ಐ ನರ್ವ್ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ದ ಐ, goes, mixes up and everything else. You know what is very interesting, sir, in neurological disabilities? If you have a stroke or a head injury to those aspects of the brain that control vision, you don't lose vision in one eye, sir. If a kan good effect happened, one eye is gone, sir, up to the nerve. Beyond, once the nerves meet and goes beyond what we call as optic chiasm, sir, you have very interesting vision loss, sir. 1/2 of the vision gets affected, sir, of both eyes. If I'm seeing like this, if I see a paper, ee baga kanisate, ee baga kanisala, sir, nange. So that one, the moment I turn like this, I can see this. So people don't even realize. I'll give you one story to drive the point home. There was a sitting high court lawyer, sir. He's not head injury. Before he came to us for 6 months, He kept on, he had 17 accidents to the right side of his car, sir. Only right side of his car. And when he would argue in the High Court, he would keep the paper like this and argue, sir. Yaru gamna kodilla, sir. Why is he doing that? One fine day, he had an epileptic fit in his house and became unconscious. He was brought semi-conscious to the emergencies. We did a brain scan. He had a brain tumor, sir. A cancerous brain tumor. We operated. 4 months later, he was dead. Why he had this injury 17 times is right side vision ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ. He was blind because that brain, that tumor had eaten the nerves in the brain.
But he
sir.
was working, going
Can
to
you imagine?
court,
So if I
everything.
give evidence like this, I would give, sir, you conductor Allah, how are you giving? What I'm trying to say is, how much is going on in this brain,
Sir, Mr. Nitin Gadkari,
Okay.
the union minister, was in a conference. He was telling the testing of the eyes of all the drivers is a necessity every year.
Very well,
Because
sir.
40% of them suffer. Maybe this may be due to some eye problem or brain problem
Possible,
also. Suppose
possible.
let us assume that he has a history of an accident in which something had happened to his brain.
Correct, correct.
Anything, sir. He might have even had a mild stroke, sir.
Mild stroke also.
Also, which can go undetected, sir.
The first book that both of you have authored, Rebooting the Brain, is an excellent book, an eloquent book, because
Thank you, sir.
it ultimately
Thank you, sir.
boils down to the repairing of the software
Correct.
and give solace to those persons who are victims of these accidents.
Very true.
And I have read that book also. It has come out very nice. I
Thank you
think
so
this should
much,
be an all India circulation.
Yes.
Hope the government will also take care.
Yes.
They're all doctors, whether
Should read, sir.
irrespective of the
Doctors, so lawyers,
lawyers,
so
so.
judges, so I think even for the public, this awareness has to go, sir. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ I think it will shorten the curve much more and productivity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
Now you have laid a firm foundation for the next book,
Correct.
Neuro Justice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And thanks to you, sir.
Yeah,
Actually,
Yes, thanks to you.
What
he has been the person who's been pushing me for the last 4 years, doctor. Puska bari, doctor. Give us this calculation that you do. Anta. I think it is sombertana. I'm sorry about that.
No, you are visible. Both of you are very doctors. Where do you find time? Doctor, my question is, suppose let us assume that the vision problem is due to the software injury. Can the eye specialist find out the vision?
So if he's wise enough, yes. Otherwise, no, sir.
Acha.
I'll give you an example because you asked me this question, sir. I've said this in one more podcast. There was one Kurgi guy, sir, who had lost vision in one eye because of a hockey accident. So he had only one eye, sir. He was working in Papua New Guinea, sir. Papua New Guinea is very primitive as far as medical care is concerned. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನೋಡೋ ಹಲ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. That's how it is at the end of the day. So this guy had he thought he had some vision problem in the right eye. Because this was the only functioning eye, he got a little worried. So he came back to Bengaluru, anyway, Bengaluru in the, I'll get it tested. When he went to an ophthalmologist, the local ophthalmologist, he tested, idella aagta, ella test mada, odda, everything is normal, go on therapy, kalsbita. He sent the patient home. So the person was sitting like this with one of his friends, they were having a drink. He was telling this friend, why you came to India? The friend said, I had some eye problem, so I came. I could not see, held down. So that friend simply took his finger, see this? And then he did like this. As he moved his finger in front of his eye, he suddenly realized one point he couldn't see the finger. He could see the finger, he could see the finger. In this point, he couldn't see the finger, sir. Truth it was one, then he realized, oh, there's a patch in the middle that I can't see. In the vision, sir. Then they said, come to neuro. Then he came to us. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ ಎರಡು ನರ್ವ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ನಮ್ಮದು ಒಂಥರ ಟ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಸ್ವೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ ಬ್ರೈನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ. ತಲೆ ಬೋರ್ಡೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ಐ ನರ್ವ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಏನೋ. ಸರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್? ದೆನ್ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಸಿ ದ ವೇ ದ ಟೂ ಐಸ್ ನರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಹೈಸನ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಊತಾಯ್ತು. ವಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ. ಯು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಔಟ್? ಟೇಪ್ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಸರ್.
It's gone and sat there.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತಿದೆ. The moment that came out, his vision settled. This is the reality, sir.
And it was just an incidental finding.
ನಮ್ಮದು ನ್ಯೂರೋಲಿ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸರ್. ಆರ್ಥೋಪೆಡಿಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್, ಇವಾಗ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಹತ್ತಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ದು ಶರಾವತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಿರಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಟ್ರೈಲ್.
It has to be searched.
ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. So it is very challenging, like what you were saying. So we have to get this rehabilitation, this challenging happening. It's so vision is one thing. So if somebody where vision becomes a big thing, it's a challenge, sir. So this is one aspect of vision. We call it homonymous hemianopia. Association areas. This was a brain vision issue, sir. He is not able to identify this as a pen and rather than an object to the name, sir. I'll go to next one is smell, sir. I'm telling you all this is because of head injury, sir.
I have come across this
Smell.
small
Correct ಅಲ್ಲ sir?
cases.
Smell. ಮೂಗಿಂದ ರಕ್ತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಹೆಡ್ ಇಂಜುರಿ. ಮೂಗಿಂದ ರಕ್ತ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಹಾ,
ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಅಚ್ಚಾ.
Even though taste nerves are not, ನೀವೇ ನೋಡಿ sir, when you have a cold, you have no taste.
Correct.
If you don't have smell, you can't taste, sir. So first of all, the enjoyment of food is gone. But more importantly, if you are a housewife, you don't smell the gas leaking.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು?
ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲೀಕಿಂಗು, ಬರ್ಂಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬರ್ಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು
ಸುಟ್ಟೋದ್ರೆ,
ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ.
electrician can't smell burn. Somebody is in charge of a generator. All those people, what is our, this is 10%, sir. ನಮ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಅಂದ. But ಅವಕಾಶ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತದು? It becomes very dangerous. So all these are, I write all of these things. He cannot do this, he cannot. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ನಾವು affidavit ಅಲ್ಲಿ. I check all of these things and write. ಕಿವಿಯಿಂದ ರಕ್ತ ಬಂದ hearing goes off. And he's a call center employee, he has a problem. If his main job is listening something on the phone or a music follow or something else, it becomes a challenge. So you had that person with that
design.
why don't you tell share?
He was a design engineer by
Okay.
profession.
Huh.
So otherwise he looked perfectly all right. ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು he came, we did the assessment. Generally most of the assessment was correct. ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಆಲ್ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ,
Parameters ಎಲ್ಲ
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
ಸರಿ ಇತ್ತು.
ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೇ ಬಂತು. Only in the design fluency there was a impairment. And though we rehabilitated him later on, his job is design engineer.
Basic job ಅವ್ನು.
ಹಾ, ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಗೊತ್ತಾ?
ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್,
Copy.
ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್.
Which otherwise he would have done marvelously in his usual.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, you don't even have to be a design engineer.
Correct.
ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, ಸರ್ಕಲ್,
Then ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು
ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್, ರೆಕ್ಟಾಂಗಲ್,
Correct.
ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈವನ್ ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್
Correct.
ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡ್ರಾ
ಹೌದು.
ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಶೇಪ್ಸ್. He couldn't. And how does he go back to his work?
So his cognitive disability was 10%.
Hmm.
ಅವಕಾಶ disability? So
That's his
ನಾನು
job.
ಹೋಗಿ she gave the disability, I went to the court to give evidence. ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅವನ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಲಾರ್ ಅಪ್ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ 50% ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಅಂದ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಇದು ಪ್ರಿಸಂಪ್ಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆನರಬಲ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಐ ಗಿವ್ ಅ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ನ ಬಟನ್ ಫೋನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅವನ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವನ ಆ ಬಟನ್ ಫೋನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸರ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರಾವ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಕೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಈ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಬಟನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ಸು, 10 ಬಟನ್, 0 ಇಂದ 9. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ತಗೋ, ಈ 0 ಬಟನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು. According to your logic, what is the disability of this physical disabilities phone? He looked at me like this. 10 ಬಟನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಬಟನ್ ನಾಟ್ 10%. Simple logic. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಪ್ರಕಾರ simple logic. ಹೌದು ಸರ್. What is the functional disability of this phone?
0 ಇಲ್ದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಥಿಂಗ್.
100%.
100%.
Judge got it, sir. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. So this is how I assist the court. To give our own thing, because then you are practical examples ಕೊಟ್ರೆ at least ನೀವು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ extrapolate ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಸರ್. See, my job is to give that enlightenment to the court so that you can have that practical information to do
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
that.
ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೇ ನೋಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 45 ಆಫ್ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು? ಅವ್ರದ್ದು 3 ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಒಂದು ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನೀವು ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು MBBS ಮಾಡಿ MS ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಹೌದಾ? ಒಂದು ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಎರಡನೇದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ, MS, ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಆರ್ಥೋ ಇದೇನು ಸಾರಿ MCH ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದು ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ಥೋ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಎರಡನೇದೇನು, ನೀವು ಇಂಥ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದ ಅನುಭವ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶರಣ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸನ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಸರ್ಜನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಇವರೇ. ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸರ್ಜರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ನಾಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆರ್ ಜೆಟ್ಟಿಸಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇವ್ರೆ.
Sir, one thing I want to ask back in this. Many times I get a case which has been treated by somebody else to give an expert evidence. Sir, na? So the biggest complaint everybody has is I'm not the treating doctor. Anta they use that as a weapon, tool, whatever.
ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು that's the stand that would be taken up.
Correct. One though. But why I have asked them, I'm just saying just for this. See, when you send to a medical board, they're also not treating doctors.
Correct.
So there can't be any difference from one non-treating doctor to another. That's one comment. Hello, sir.
ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ let us assume that a patient who is treated by a neurosurgeon in Shumaga, whether it's government hospital or a private hospital. ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ ಪಟಿಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವನಲ್ಲೇ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಕರ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ಬೇರೆ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಆವಾಗ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರೀ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಒಂದೇ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು, ನೀವು ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳುದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೂ ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ದಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವಿಥೆಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ವಿಥೆಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕೇಸ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ as an expert, he is coming before the court on the basis of the materials already placed on record before him, he is giving evidence. Amale if the case sheet is required which contains all the details, court ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು at any time. It can brought ಅವರೇ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಇವರೇ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ an obligation to get all the records. The tribunal ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪವರು ಇದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೊಂದು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಅಪೀಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರು,
ಹೈಯರ್
ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪೀಲ್, ಅದು ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಡೀಲಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಫೈಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ quantum of compensation awarded is inadequate vis-a-vis the injuries suffered by him and the disabilities suffered by him. Nothing comes in the way of the judge. Extraordinary case agi tagondu, even though he has not challenged, just compensation kodabodu, which I have done also, which many judges have also done. There are reported cases also. Yakendre the duty of the tribunal is to provide ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಪಾಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಏನೋ ಸದ್ಯ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅದನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ ಲಾನ. ಹಾಗೆ ಲಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್, ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್. ಇವರೇ ನಮಗೇನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ವಿಂಡ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಅಡೆಕ್ವೇಟು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ದಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ medicine, law and humanity.
And if you see this poster, it actually reflects what you said just now.
Yes.
Roads may be unforgiving, but the system should not be. And that's what you've been saying very, very lucidly, sir. The system should be pro them. We have to make sure just compensation is done as much as possible. Take the social angle to it. So that, even the caregiver's interest is protected. I think these are all very valuable things.
I want to give some examples about caregivers when it comes to patient and caregivers. Tumba sati sir, like I said, male members are the ones who come up with this RTA cases. Sometimes they are married and they have children. Sometimes maybe not yet children, but just newly married couple. ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಸತಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I'll give you this one example where the head injury happened and that lady had 2 children, small children, very small, I think 4 years and 2 years and 4 years. ಅಷ್ಟು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. And two-wheeler accident. And this lady they came for MLC assessment only. Assessment alla ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ he had a lot of behavioral problem and some walking problem, right leg and right hand, speech issues ittu, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಹತ್ರದ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಅವರಲ್ಲ, ಹತ್ರದ್ದು ತುಮಕೂರು ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಊರು, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಡ್, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಾನು ಶಿ ಸಾ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಗೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಹೋಗಂಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕೊರಿಯರ್ ಬಾಯೋ ಏನೋ. ಆ ಕೊರಿಯರ್ ಬೈಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊರಿಯರ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆವಾಗ
ಆಗ
ಆಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. So she asked me this question. I said, yes, we can do, because he was not that bad. Young fellow. Younger the people are, the easier the recovery is. Most of my
Chances of
experience.
recovery are
Chances are because comorbidities iralla,
Hmm.
hypertension, diabetes, antadella iralla. So it is easier. Energy level ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Future is there. ಸೊ ಆಯಿತು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಅಫೋರ್ಡಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವು ನನಗೆ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ದೆನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಓವರ್ ಅ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಅ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಹಿಮ್, ನಿನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಏನು 2,000-3,000 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ 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 ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಅವ್ನಿಗೇನು ಕೆಲಸ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಥೆರಪಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಟೇಬಲು ಚೇರು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಧೂಳು ಒರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಒಂದು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸುತ್ತ ಹೋಗು, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಧೂಳು ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಧೂಳು ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಒಂಥರ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ದಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೋಲ್ ಡೇ ಈಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್
Engage
ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಂತ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯುಸಿ. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. ಇವಳು ಹರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವಾಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಹತ್ರ, ನನಗೇನಾದರೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಐ ಗೇವ್ ಹರ್ ಅ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಟ್ ಮೈ ಹೌಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಮೇಡ್, ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ನಾವು ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಸಾ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್. ಮೈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ವಾಸ್, ಇವಳಿಗೇನೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಮೋರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್? ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ 10 maids.
No.
I can't do free service to all the people who come. This one person maybe I could do. But ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ NGO ಥ್ರೂ ಸುಮಾರು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್, ದ ಲೇಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಲ್. ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಬಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದ ವೈಫ್ಗೆ. ಪಾಪ ಅವಳು ಅಷ್ಟೂ ಸಹಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ಲು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. On the other side, I have that Jayamma lady. ಕೋಲಾರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ, ಕೋಲಾರ ತುಮಕೂರು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್. ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ 3 sons. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ RTA ಬಂದರು. ದಟ್ ಲೇಡಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ನೈಟಿ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬ್ ದಿನ ಬಂದು, ಮನೆ ದೂರ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡಿ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೋಮ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಕಾಗ್ನಿಟಿವ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬ್. ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಶಿ ಡಿಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಗಾಟನ್ ಹೌ ಟು ವೇರ್ ಹರ್ ಸಾರಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳು 3 ಜನ, ಅವರು ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನೈಟಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಹರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೇವ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್. ಆ 3 ಜನ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಟರ್ನ್ ಬೈ ಟರ್ನ್, ಒಂದೊಂದು ವಾರ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋದು. ಐ ಡಿಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥೆರಪಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 6 months. ಟು ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಡಲೆಬೇಳೆ ಡಬ್ಬದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಡಲೆಬೇಳೆ ಚಿತ್ರ ಅಂಟಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಚಿತ್ರಾನ್ನ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಸಾಂಬಾರು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ರಸಮ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದ್ಲು. ಅವ್ರ ರೆಸಿಪಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರ ರೆಸಿಪಿನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಏನೇನು ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟು ಚಿತ್ರ ಅಂಟಿಸಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 6 months ಶಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸನ್. ಸಾರಿ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಓನ್. ಅವರೇ ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಕೊಂಡು. ದೆನ್ ಸನ್ ಸೇಸ್, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟು ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅದೇ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಅಂತ.
got a great
in 6 months time. 6 months time. That is what I'm saying, sir.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಈ
ಇದೇ
patients
ಲೇಡಿಗೆ
ಗೆ
ನಾವು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಡಿಸಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ಇದರ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ವೇಸ್ಟ್.
correct.
ಅಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಅನ್ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಅವ್ರ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಗಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಸರ್.
She is managing the petty ಅಂಗಡಿ, ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಚೆಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಆಲೆಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಲೇಡಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟ್, ಇದು ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಬೇಕು, ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ.
Very nice, very nice. Great success story ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ.
Absolutely
So
possible,
coming
sir.
back to what you asked about half an hour ago, we have to insist, sir, in the court case comes in front of any honorable judge, minimum 6 months of comprehensive multidisciplinary rehabilitation ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಬರೀ ಫಿಸಿಯೋಥೆರಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಫಿಸಿಯೋಥೆರಪಿ
That is not
ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್, ಬಯಾಲಜಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಬರೀ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯೂವರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech, language, swallow, memory, cognition, behavioral, pain and avocation. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.
ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್
ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
Everything.
ಅವ್ರು ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅದೇ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸ
Correct,
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ
correct.
ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ದೇ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. That I think is this the gist should be of the social justice and empowerment two words sir.
Yes.
We are socially being just and we are empowering the person to get back into community, and that's going to help the country sir, because the world cannot afford disability
True.
sir. Nobody
Sir,
can afford sir.
Sir, after having listened to both of you, I am of the opinion that the first book that both of you have authored, Rebooting the Brain,
Mm.
is an excellent book, an eloquent book, because
Thank you, sir.
it ultimately
Thank you sir.
boils down to the repairing of the software
Correct.
and give solace to those persons who are victims of these accidents.
Very true.
And I have read that book also. It has come out very nice.
Thank
I
you
think
so
this
much,
should
sir.
be an all India circulation.
Yes.
Hope the government will also take care.
Yes.
They're all doctors, whether
Should be, sir. I-
irrespective of the
Doctors, so lawyers, so
lawyers.
judges, so I think even for the public, this awareness has to go, sir. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ I think it will shorten the curve much more and productivity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
Now you have laid a firm foundation for the next book,
Correct.
Neuro Justice.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And thanks to you sir.
Yeah,
Actually,
Yes, thanks to you,
What
sir.
he has been the person who's been pushing me for the last 4 years. Doctor, pustaka bari doctor, give us this calculation that you do. Anta. I think it is sombertana. I'm sorry about that.
No,
sir.
you are visible. Both of you are
Yeah.
very doctors. Where do you
So
find time?
I have decided now that we are going to launch this in December 2025 for sure. It is going to happen at the launch
Last
of
thing,
this.
sir. Only busy men find time, sir.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Absolutely, sir.
Hope
Absolutely.
you get. I will also request the Judicial Academy people to get, say, decided cases
Sure.
of a neurological disability case. They will provide to you.
Yes.
And please, with keeping that in background, you can analyze. They just
True,
will
very
be
true.
able
Oh,
to
Very true.
grasp quickly and
Very-
do
very
justice.
true, very-
And I assure you that even judges also are anxious to give proper justice to all those who come.
Absolutely,
I
sir.
think information kotre everybody will be happy, sir.
And in a way that they can, it is
Understand.
actionable information, sir. So, but theory kotre,
True, true, true.
it should be very simple, practical, do it yourself kit tara, sir.
Mm,
If we can, if something like that happens, then at least they have a starting point.
correct.
And then they can also always refer to somebody else and get the right
And
information. to do
local
that.
adalats being now very popular and doing justice, even the same compensation which otherwise would be granted by the
Mm,
tribunal on evidence, on recording evidence, the same compensation. There will not be inadequate compensation just
Correct.
because. So they will take all this into consideration, and I think it will be a great succor to the
I agree.
all
Very
those
true.
who come to the court.
I agree, sir.
Thank
I
you,
think-
Doctor, for giving me a wonderful opportunity to share my little experience with
Sir.
you. You have been,
Massive
both of you have been
experience,
doing
sir.
wonderful service to the society.
Thank you so much. sir.
Let this
Thank
be
you,
an
sir.
opportunity.
Thank you,
Let
sir.
this illuminate others' minds also to do the same. Thank
No,
you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
So, viewers, the take-home message, whether you are the patient himself listening to this podcast of a road traffic accident victim, or you are a person or the caregiver of the patient, petitioner's lawyer, insurance lawyer, or anybody or a social worker, whoever it is, please understand that there are a lot of things that we can do in the judicial space to get just compensation, and more importantly in the rehabilitation space to
Yes.
make sure that you can re-empower your patient to get to the best possible functioning, so that at least they can manage themselves, if not become productive human being and become a contributor to the future of this country,
Very true.
future of their own family. I think nothing is more important than self-esteem and self belief at the end of the day to make this happen. So thank you very much for listening. So, and I'm sure that all of you will look forward to this book along with this episode that is going to come out. So keep tuned for all these things. Continue to watch our episodes, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Rebooting the Brain. Hit the like button, share all the videos. There's so many of them already. Make sure you watch all of them if you've not watched it. And more importantly is, get the book, share about that, and be tuned to what's going on. Sir?
Watchers, viewers, I'm grateful to you for listening to me, and I'm grateful to both Dr. Sharan and Prathiba for giving me an opportunity to share my experience.
So
Thank you once again.
any last message you want to give our audience, sir?
No, the Constitution of India guarantees justice to all,
Yes.
irrespective of their status. So that justice, let it start for those victims of accidents, particularly the persons suffering with neurological disabilities. Thank you.
You have any last
Thank you
messages?
so much, sir. My message to all the viewers is one, thank you so much for supporting us for this one whole year with this podcast that we've been putting out. And we love to hear your comments about this particular episode. And do let us know, do follow us to give more education to more number of people. Disability is something that we definitely can make a difference in, and just 2, 3, 4 people is not enough, because number of population is huge, number of people who are disabled is huge. Everybody's contribution in some way or the other, giving them information is one way of contributing, getting those people to be aware and getting them to the rehabilitation centers is another way of supporting them. In any which way the public can contribute and support the people with disability will be helpful, and that is my last comments.
Yeah, so as a neurosurgeon, I have to say this last thing. Please wear helmet, full face with a click. Please wear a seat belt, even if you're in the back seat.
Yes.
If you drink alcohol, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. And follow traffic rules, because remember, guys, prevention is the best, safest, and cheapest cure. It doesn't matter how much the court will give you. It doesn't matter how much insurance you have. Nobody can replace your suffering.
And no point blaming anybody.
Anybody, correct.
That's all from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind.